6:51, and there it is, the much talked about, often maligned Champlain Bridge. Welcome back to Breakfast Television. We've been talking about this bridge for quite some time, and to help us take a different perspective, a different look on the new building project is Gregory Thomas from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's great to be here.
All right, so there's a press release that came out from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation, which we should say is a watchdog. You know, you look out for taxpayers' interests. Specific to the bridge, though, and specific to the tolls, what is the Federation's position?
Well, we're not happy that the new Quebec government backed out of its support for the tolls. Federal government's building this, promising to build this bridge. We don't think it's the federal government's job to build a bridge in the first place. We think they should stick to things that are their actual job. But we're really unhappy that Quebec's withdrawn its support for the tolls. And we think that all these Quebec politicians asking for a free bridge is a mistake, and we're asking the federal government just to put the kibosh on the whole thing until the Premier of Quebec and the Mayor of Montreal come around and get realistic about this.
All right, so a lot of people will say, well, some bridges are under federal jurisdiction and are the responsibility of the federal government, and that's, I guess, the position that the local levels of government are taking. What do you say to that?
Well, most of them have tolls, like the bridge from New Brunswick to PEI runs between two provinces. There's a $44 toll. They're building a bridge between Detroit and Windsor. There's going to be a $16 toll. In Vancouver, the BC government just built $4.5 billion worth of bridges. They're building a third bridge. There's going to be 3 bridges. You pay $6 every day to drive across these. So that's life in the real world. And you know, these politicians in Quebec should get with it because they look silly in the rest of the country.
You just mentioned that you're asking the federal government to put a kibosh on the whole building of the new bridge, but you know what? I've attended many of these press conferences where they talk about the actual state of the Champlain Bridge. So to delay the building of a new bridge can lead to some very serious consequences because the current bridge is in bad shape. What is your response to that? You're asking for them to delay, but this one's in dire straits.
I mean, just to snap people into reality, because the suspicion in the rest of the country is that the rest of the country is going to end up holding the bag for this $5 billion project, and Harper's being depicted as this big meanie because he's not going to give Montreal a free bridge, and it's completely unrealistic. So, I think if the mayor and the premier want to play that way, then I think Harper should just say, "Fine, boys, build it yourself."
Which is, that's a big, bold statement. What do you say to the citizens now? Because there are some people who say, I don't want to pay a toll. I don't want to pay $3 or whatever it's going to be every time I cross the bridge.
Well, citizens of Montreal are the most highly taxed. They pay the highest gas taxes in North America. They pay $2 billion to the city of Montreal and the province of Quebec in gas tax. That's just Montrealers. So where did all that money go? Sure didn't go into the Champlain Bridge, did it?
Okay, but so the position is that your position is we have to pay the toll, right? Montrealers will eventually have to pay.
Or take some of that money that's being taken in overpriced contract bidding and really tighten up, build a good bridge at a lower price and deliver value for motorists.
All right, it's quite a complicated issue, and I'm sure we will be talking about this for quite some time. Gregory Thomas, the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Interesting perspective. We'll see if the federal government listens and takes your advice. Thank you for joining us again. All right.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. So much more to come. You're watching Breakfast Television only on City.